Hello and welcome to another macro video. We're looking today at what users say are the best macros. In other words, if people can tell us what they find helpful amongst the macros, then that will help other people to learn as well. So let's have a go, see how we get on. We've kind of done a bit of informal research. My training partner Jennifer Yankopoulos and I just asking people what are their favourite macros. So we're interested in what will save them most time and also actually what will bring them most joy, what they will enjoy using. Well, I suppose it does depend on what you want to do as an editor or a writer or a proofreader. So for example, fiction editors, someone said I almost wept when I realized just how much time this macro had saved me. And what she was interested in is the fact that the punctuation is wrong there. And so if I click in there and run a macro called comma in dialogue, then it will change to a comma and it will lowercase the initial S there. And we've got the comma dialogue, but the one that she wept over was a macro that went through the whole of a document, the whole of a chapter or even a book, I suppose, and found the punctuations that were wrong at the end of dialogue and corrected them. Okay, that's a complex task and it doesn't always get it right, but it saves you a lot of time. So the question is, what is most commonly mentioned by you as being your favorite macro, and therefore what is most likely to help you, the person watching this video? What do other people find helpful might help you? Well, I'll tell you now what the runner-up was. That was Propernounalise. Why is that important? Well, what does it do? It finds likely errors in proper nouns. So it analyzes the whole document and finds proper nouns that look as if they might be alternative spellings. So I asked myself, well, why is that so popular? And I've come up with two reasons. First of all, that it's an enjoyable macro to use. When I spotted at the ends, the opposite ends of a very large book, Shirahoshi and Shirahoshi, or whatever it is, I went, yes! You know, to spot that obscure to me because I don't know Japanese, that obscure difference is very enjoyable. Well, I find it is anyway. But also, actually, more importantly, really, it can gain you kudos, because if the your client is seeing that you're spotting these errors, then that will be good. Okay, so what was the winner? What was the most popular? Well, I'm going to tell you in a minute, not just yet, because I want to tell you first what has the highest potential. So it's not the most popular because not a huge number of people use it, and that's Fredit. It's not number one because you actually need to learn how to use it. You can use it quite simply and it will save you time, but if you're willing to invest more time and learn more about it and how all the different things it can do, then you can get more savings. And the other one to mention is Multiswitch, because that is similar but not quite as you do need to learn to use that, but not quite as much as Fredit. But again, it's, to me, those two are the most important ones. Okay, and the winner is Google Fetch. That is the most popular. That is the one that has got the most recommendations. Okay, but if you already use it, please stay watching, because I think you might find that there's more to it than you might realize. Okay, and if you don't use it, well, stay watching, find out how it will help. See what you're missing. Actually, Google Fetch is kind of the tip of the iceberg, because there are lots of fetch macros, and you can I'll tell you about those at the end of the video, so that if you're getting bored you can give up and go off and do something else, and if you're still interested you can go through the list with me. Okay, so there's a spelling error there, let's correct it. So one recommendation that someone said on a website was Where are we? You just select the word and run Google Fetch, and it comes up on your browser. Well, actually, no. It's even easier than that. You don't even need to select the word. So let's try it. So if I say elephant and I want to Google that, so I just run Google Fetch, and up comes my browser with the word elephant, and there you are, as quick as that. So compare that with how long it would take you to double click it, copy it, go to the browser, open a new tab, paste it in, press return, and much quicker. Okay, but a bit further than that, you can do phrases. So if I click in the first word and I click in the last word and I run Google Fetch, then it takes, you see it's taken the whole of those words, not just the bit I sort of roughly selected, and launches that to the web browser, to Google. So in other words, it does a round off to whole words. And there's a linked macro where you can search literally. So in other words, if you select it and run Google Fetch, there you can see it's run with quotes around it. So it's a literal string that it's looking for, and that's called Google Fetch Quotes. Okay, a bit more extra information for you. Not all the fetches have word round off. So if you've got one of them, if you're using one of the fetch macros and you'd like to have the word round off as an extra facility, it's possible to add it yourself. It's not complicated. You can just compare the different macros and copy across the code, but just ask me if you need to. Okay, so that's the main bit. So let's have a look at some of the other fetches that are available in case you're interested. There's loads of Google ones that we've got them for a number of different countries, so that you're actually going to your own country's Google, not the sort of global one. There are some websites that cause problems because of cookies and, well, other reasons. And so there's one there that helps with the problems. Then the quotes one, again, that I showed you, that's available in different countries. And again, if you want it in more countries, do shout. We'll see what we can do. So Bible Gateway, British Library, Cambridge, CMOS. I've got 4 here. I'm not quite sure. I think they may be similar or the same. What this alt bit means that sometimes there are problems in getting up a page properly from Google Fetch, from the fetch macro. So we have to do fiddling in the programming to get it to work. And so the alt ones are where you have to do that. If you try putting in the URL of one of your favorite sites, then and have problems, then it doesn't work. Okay, give me a shout and I'll see what we can do. Now, a dictionary multiple fetch is a fun one because it's extending the idea of searching. So if you click in a word, what you can do, if I run that multiple fetch, you can get it to launch to several different sites. So it's launched to that one. It's still loading on that one for some reason or other, and that's ngrams. Oh, it's loaded that one now. So that's one way of extending the idea of fetching. And the other one, which I rather like, is Google Fetch by language, or dictionary fetch by language. So the idea of that dictionary fetch by language is that the macro looks to see what the current language is for the document you're in. So if it's US English, or it's UK English, or it's Swiss or German or whatever, you can set it up so that depending on what the language is, it will go to a particular dictionary, i.e. the dictionary that relates to the language you're using. I think that's quite useful. Dictionary fetch is there's just loads of different ones here. not quite sure what they all are. Miriam Fetch. I don't know if you've got Macquarie on here. That's the Australian one, isn't it? So that's on there somewhere. And different, Merriam Medical and various others. Google Books, Google Maps, Google Scholar. No idea what SS Fetch is, but anyway. Google Translate, again, it throws things to that. There's a Dutch one there. There's a law dictionary. Oh, there's Macquarie. There's Ngrams, which you saw up there a second ago. That's it's a separate macro for that. OUP Fetch, I think that's not working now. That facility's been withdrawn by OUP, and you have to go on the premium. PubMed. Now this is important. There are some macros that are a bit difficult. It's not the macros that are difficult. Some websites that are difficult, and so we've got this macro which gives the shell of a way of approaching a website to try and get it to respond by doing various tricks, and there are those two that. So again, if you're having problems, give me a shout and I'll see what I can do. I'm not quite sure what that one was, but someone asked for it, so I did it. Thesaurus's wiki, various wikis, Word Hippo and WorldCat Fetch. Well, I think that's about it. I hope that's useful, and see you again at the next one. Bye for now.